Okay, so the focus of today is actually on descriptive writing. Descriptive writing is one of the genres that might come out for, in fact, it's not might, it will definitely be one of the topics that will be out for your O levels. Ultimately, we're preparing you for O levels, right? We want you to be able to basically tackle all genres. Although I must say that maybe descriptive writing might not be a lot of students' first choice. Okay, because descriptive writing means that you really must be able to describe very well and really very vividly so that your readers can imagine. Okay, so it's basically using words to sort of like trigger their senses. That's what you want to do. Yeah? Okay. All right. Okay, as mentioned, we have a new student, Taufik. So some very simple house rules. I think for the rest of them, they are my regular students, so they're very familiar. So one thing is although I say it many times, but for the secondary school students, most of them still do not turn on their videos. Okay, I would very much prefer if you can do it. I don't want to impose it on you. Okay, because I feel like you guys are young adults already, right? Okay, so I don't think I need to enforce it. Okay, but one thing is as long as when I ask questions, I must get a response because that tells me that you've been listening. Okay, so you must also mute your microphone at the same time because I do not want, if let's say in the case whereby everybody were to turn on the microphone, there's going to be a lot of background sounds and noises. So it's good to basically mute your microphone. Everybody must do it. Okay, turning on your video, I don't want to impose it on you. So I'm not going to make it compulsory. But like I said, when I ask questions, I do need to get a response from you. Okay? Yeah, I know some of you say your camera cannot work and everything. Yeah. So of course, if that's the case, then you probably want to get it fixed. Okay? Toilet break, I think in between, I might just give you a short break. If really throughout, if we've not, gotten to the break time yet and you're really urgent, you can just, just drop me a message in the chat and just go ahead. Okay? Just in case if I have to call you and you're not there because you're in the toilet. So maybe just inform. Yeah? Then lastly, of course, is to be respectful. I think there are cases whereby I think you probably had some CCE lessons in school whereby your teacher talked about cyberbullying and all. Okay, that's the last thing we want here. Just be mindful and be respectful. I think overall, all of you are quite mindful and respectful. You don't make unnecessary remarks. Okay, and then you also do not want to be disrespectful to people. Jin Hao, you're not well today, is it, Jin Hao? Okay. But still, thank you for making the effort to come to class, even though you're not well. Okay. I think the good thing about having online lessons is that, you have the option to still attend. Even if you're not well, you can just, watch from the screen. So, Jianhao, I think today I will probably not call you for answering of questions. Unless you want to volunteer, it's fine. You can just type in the chat. Okay? Yeah. Because if let's say we were to have a physical lesson, it's going to be quite difficult. In a sense that you are sick and you have to come to class, then we are also a bit worried that sometimes, usually if you're sick, you'll be turned out. Partly because, we're worried that if anything were to happen to you as well. And secondly, of course, we do not want, if let's say if it's a contagious disease, we don't want you to be also spreading to other classmates also. Okay, so I think that's the good thing about having online lessons, and that's our mode of delivery of lesson for now. Okay, we don't intend to have any physical lessons at the moment. Of course, if let's say in time to come whereby we have some workshops that we want to conduct that are physical, then maybe we might invite you all down. Okay, but otherwise it's mostly online, yeah? Okay, wait, why is it personal recount? Is there something? No, this one is not personal recount. This one should be descriptive essay. So sometimes our typists might make some typo errors. Like this one, I think I'll just edit and it will fine. Okay, now when it comes to descriptive compo, we are basically, like I said, trying to trigger your senses, trying to appeal to your senses. We want to be able to create a vivid mental image beyond physical description. Okay. What do we mean by beyond physical description? We don't just describe, oh, this is red and then it is round and all. Sometimes we want to appeal to the senses. Okay, it's not just your sight, sense of sight. You want to appeal to your sense of taste, sense of smell, even though you are not literally tasting or smelling it, but just by reading words. Sometimes the choice of words really, in fact, I think not sometimes, most of the time, the choice of words really does matter. Okay? Even when you are speaking to someone, when we're talking about communication, choice of words is really important as well, right? If you choose not to use, positive words, it might also give people the vibe that, you're not a very positive person, or you might just burden people with your negative emotions as well. Okay? So, and then also for descriptive, a lot of times it's asking you to reflect on something that is special or something that's important to you, right? So it can be written from a first or third person point of view, right? It does not require a storyline, unlike narrative compositions, right? Narrative compositions will require a storyline, but the descriptive does not. Okay, what do we mean by a storyline? I think you're very familiar with it by now. When we talk about narrative compo, like for example, personal recounts or even just a simple narrative from third person point of view, it usually follows this story mountain, which you've probably learned in primary school, right? You have your intro, then rising action, climax, falling action, then your conclusion. So for descriptive writing, there isn't necessarily a climax and falling action and rising action. Okay. So it's basically just to describe. So it can be very dry because there's no climax, right? So there isn't like that exciting thing that happened. So it can be dry if you cannot describe well. So a lot of students tend to avoid. Okay, but if you can do it well, then go ahead, because that will make you really shine. Okay, it will make you outstanding as compared to other students who are taking the same exam. Because most students will not choose descriptive. But if you can do it well, you will outshine the rest and you will do very well for your writing. Okay, so if let's say now you're Sec 2, by Sec 4, Sec 5, you decide, I'm going to go with descriptive, then maybe as of now, you might just want to start to collect or start to just jot down any good descriptive phrases that you can use, okay, to describe places, person, or whichever. Yeah. So like I say, usually descriptive will expect you to describe maybe a place, a scene, a building, or an object. It might also expect you to describe a person. Sometimes it is to describe an event, an incident, an occasion, or an experience. Okay? So some examples of descriptive compo topics, things like, for example, describe your favorite part of your home and say why is it special to you. Okay? Describe a national celebration in which you were involved. Describe someone you know and admire. Okay, so in this case, this one is to describe a person. Okay, how had the person influenced or changed your life? Describe a sports event, right? An event, or write about someone you encountered who was not what he or she seemed to be. So sometimes the question, the topic does not start with the word describe, but you must be able to tell that this question is actually asking me to describe someone. Okay, nowadays they get very creative with your O levels compo topics. Some of the topics, in fact, I think that you will be given 4 choices. Okay, one of them is definitely your personal recount. One of them is your expository. One of them is descriptive. You might get a 4th one, which is a hybrid. Okay, it can be a hybrid between expository and personal recount. Yeah. Okay, Kieran is here. Let me just quickly take attendance. Hi, Kieran. Okay, we are actually talking about descriptive writing, descriptive as one of the genres for your compo. Okay, so we're gonna look at how we actually evaluate. When your teachers mark, okay, you really need to understand how, from the teacher's point of view, when they mark a piece of writing, what do they look out for? right? If you are able to understand from that perspective, then you will know what to give, what to deliver to your teachers so that they can award you with higher marks, right? So in terms of descriptive compo, in terms of content, because you do know that you'll be marked on content and language, both of them have equal weightage, right? 15 marks each is a point 30. Your situational writing is a point 30. Your continuous writing is also a point 30. Okay? And you have a total of 1 hour 50 minutes for both sit writing, continuous, and then also on top of that, you have your editing. Okay? So just a quick reminder. Now, in terms of content, 15 marks, they will definitely look at your intro. When we talk about introduction, do you give a statement of focus to tell readers what you will describe? It's a bit different from personal recount. Personal recount, you can start off by because a personal recount is still a narrative, right? So if it's a narrative, you can use methods like, for example, flashback or maybe just setting the situation, or you can start with a dialogue or anything, right? Then if it is expository, you must start with a thesis statement. Remember, we said that in your introductory paragraph for expository writing, you need to make sure that you have your thesis statement. Okay. Then what about for descriptive? Now we're doing descriptive, right? In descriptive, you need to make sure you state it quite clearly to your readers what you're going to describe. If not, your readers don't know what you're describing from the beginning and they might just get a bit lost. Okay. Now, same as the other genres, the teachers will always look at whether or not you actually plan. They can tell whether you've planned. Planning doesn't mean you, like I said, you only have 1 hour 50 minutes for 3 components. We're not asking you to spend like half an hour planning. Okay. But at least maybe jot down some ideas. Maybe you want to focus on if let's say you're describing a place, do we want to start maybe from from different areas of the place, maybe library. There are different zones, right, in the library. So maybe just think through how you want to actually present your ideas and how do they flow so that it is more coherent, okay, in terms of ideas flowing. Your teachers can tell if your ideas are all over the place or they actually have a coherent flow. Okay. But again, having said that, I'm not asking you to plan like 30 minutes. You don't have time for that because you still have sit writing and you still have to write your essay. Okay. Please do not put you in a position whereby you have totally no time to do your essay, and then you'll be stressed out after that when you cannot finish or you're like nearing the finishing time, but you're still not done yet. Okay. Okay, now when we talk about paragraph main idea, like I said, do we want to use spatial order? Spatial order means spaces. Like describe the library which you enjoy visiting. Okay, Eiffel is here. Let me quickly take attendance. I think a few of you. Okay, thanks for coming. I know it's your holiday this week, but we still have to have your lesson because another 3 weeks' time it's your exam. So I think it's really important. I think I have 2 absentees today, Larissa and Sotia. Yeah, no worries. I saw your message, Eiffel. Okay, now we basically we're going through descriptive writing today. Okay, as a genre. Now, so when we come to descriptive writing, you can write in spatial order. Spatial means space. So you can maybe from library, there will be like a children's section, and then there will be another place whereby you can use interactive, you can play interactive games and all, using computers. Or there's another section whereby you can borrow maybe CDs or DVDs, olden days, sometimes they do not have it like online. So they have it on like DVDs and all. Okay, so that's spatial order. Now, when it comes to chronological order, you can actually maybe if they were to ask you to describe an event. Okay, if it's describing an event, it's highly likely that you're going to write in chronological order because chronological order means time. That means you will start off